Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, let's hear it again. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I guess that's a multitude of many. I want to hear their strong voices. I want to talk to you about something I just had to think about on the way up here. 40 years ago, when I was only a kid, I was taught at the Onset Spiritualist Church in Onset, Mass. by the Reverend Gladys Custis, who was a real, definitely a real, true spiritualist. But her famous expression was, and it's applicable today, yesterday is a canceled check. That means that everything in the past is already gone. Whatever the problems you may have, or whatever situations you are in, doesn't exist anymore. There's nothing to do about it. And we have to maintain that. Because so many people today like to reflect on the past. And what happens is as we do that, it holds us from going on. So yesterday is a canceled check. She also mentioned that tomorrow is a promissory note. Tomorrow's a promissory note. We don't know when we wake up in the morning what's going to really happen. Could be the best day of our lives. The best day of our lives. Or it could be the worst. We don't know. But when we get there, we have to deal with it. We actually have to deal with that day. But today is cash on hand. That means this is the time to rejoice, have fun, let things go, enjoy life. And that's one thing we forget, to enjoy life. Now it's interesting, as a medium and as a minister, I'm constantly, we were just talking about that earlier, constantly getting phone calls about people having problems. And of course I'm on 24-hour duty. I get calls at night. One time it was about 3 in the morning. And the woman said, "Are you awake?" I said, "Guess what? I am now." Or I go to a restaurant and I'm sitting there having my supper. And then the waitress comes over and she said, "John, the couple over there, I told them you were a minister." I said, "You tell them on duty, off duty?" And she laughed and she said, "We want to talk to you." I said, "I'll be right over." So we're always on call. But people who have issues that we need, everyone does. If you don't belong here. It's the world situation today. People are afraid of what's going to happen. The world's changing, different things change, we have to kind of change with it. Now, I was invited out to Arizona about 3 years ago, and I really didn't want to go. Why would I go to Arizona? But I was called all the time, every single day. It was called, text, "Would you come out here?" Blah, 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 blah. I said, "Okay." So I finally go out to Arizona. It's the best thing I did. Not only did the church services and readings and everything else, but I did a seance, 3 of them. Now I haven't done a seance for a long time because I'm not specialized in seance work. But this one was very fascinating. While we were together in the seance, if you don't understand, let me explain what a seance really is. This is when a group of people get together, and it's a very dim light, and you bring in spirit from the other side of life. Well, that particular evening, we had over 100 Native American Indians coming in on the other side of life. And I could see them. And there was one who was in charge of the group, lead them in and then make them turn around to go into a different direction. After that, or during that session, there was the light workers coming over the horizon. There's just a lot of dots of lights coming through. And they were following the northern lights, the Aurora Borealis. Then there was an Indian who came by with a stick, and he walked around to each and every one of us in the room. He was giving us a healing. And he came to me, and he stayed with me for a little bit longer time. And the woman beside me, or the girl beside me, did the same thing. And what it dawned on me afterwards, it was that the next day, she and I were supposed to give a particular hearing for this woman who really needed it. And then, this young girl came in from Spirit, Native American. She was in the teens when she passed. And she came over to me and she said, "I know who you are." That scared me because it was an audible voice. And it dawned on me afterwards, that was my guide, Gladys Custon's spirit guide. When I left Arizona, I came back home to Florida. My guide told me that since I left, or just as the time I was leaving, a lot of the angelic forces were coming in. So of course I said, "Why? What's going on?" She said, "We're trying to balance out the world. We're trying to balance out the world." And she's right, because everybody's been feeling that vibrational force. So in my estimation, and I'm not an expert on this, but after seeing that, I think this earth is going to be okay. Had I not gone out there and seen that, I don't think I could stand here and actually say that. But that's what I'm feeling. So what we have to do as spiritualists is to help ourselves first. You know, it's funny, I was up to Casadega one time, and they asked me to give a small talk on anything I wanted to talk on. I said, "Let's talk on love." And you want to be surprised how many people really can't define it. And I said, how can you love anyone else if you really can't love yourself? That's the first thing you got to do, is love who you are. And respect who you are, so that you can help others to do the same. So it's very important for us as spiritualists, for humans on the earth side, to not only love ourselves, but to help ourselves be more positive, energetic, and forget the past, and help others along the future. One of the things I had in the 8th grade, gee, I remember the 8th grade. I can't remember that. It was only last week, I think. But they're laughing at me now. The teacher said, he says, the mistakes of the past, you learn from the mistakes of the past to better the future. You learn from the mistakes of the past to better the future. So in essence, we have to let go of things of the past and enjoy what we're going through now. Is that easy? No. It's very difficult. But we have to do it. We are what we think at times. If we think we can't accomplish something, guess what? We won't. If we think we can't let go, guess what? We will not do so. You know, our minds are like a computer. It was funny, when I was in college, we had a separate class with all, they call them geeks now, but they're all professional students learning about the computers. And in those days, that was the 1401. It went up to the ceiling. But it had a little door that said, the sign that said, garbage in, garbage out. Good things in, good things out. We all laugh at that, but it makes sense. Because what you put in your computer, your mind, is going to come out that way. If you put in good things are going to come out. If you put in bad things or negative things, that's going to come out also. Because people may not see the auric emanation of an individual, but they can sense it. When you get close to somebody, you can feel that energy. And if that energy is way down, you know they have problems. If it's way out, then you know they can deal with it. I did a reading for a woman who came into the house, and she was sitting there, and her auric emanation was across the wall, on both ends. Couldn't believe how expansive it was. On the other side of the coin, I've met people whose aura is way down around them. So it does have an effect on all of us. So we need to start thinking more caring about ourselves and what we can do so that we can help others to do that as well. And I say that because in this religion of spiritualism, that's part of our job. That's part of our job. Even if you're not a minister or a medium or a healer, you can still help people by just being there when you need them. So think about that. No, don't think about it anymore, do it. We really need that right now. I'm sure that you have met people throughout last week or this week, whatever, coming up, that are very negative on everything. Disappointed because of this or that. And we have to do some work to pick them up. I have a lot of fun myself. You know, it's funny because my guide, her name is Mary, she's a character. And I said to her, I said, why are you a character? She said, I had to be one to be with you. But all kidding aside, that's the way it should be. Don't think about the past. Don't think about tomorrow. Think about today. Live for today. Okay? Thank you.